Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Peace Chiku. So, this is the first video for this series of self-development. I'm excited. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you all guys. And I'm excited for many more videos to come, but I hope you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that, and I would really appreciate it. Even just viewing it, I'm so appreciative, guys. But yeah, so without further ado, I'd suggest grabbing your water or your snack or whatever, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. Yes, today's video, I'm going to be talking about unleashing the inner feminine within you, like just really embracing your feminine energy and using that to your advantage, which is self-development, investing in yourself, investing in your confidence. But yeah, that is what today's video is about. So, what does embracing feminine energy mean? Also, guys, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes, because it's a heavy topic. But anyways, what does embracing feminine energy mean? So to me, first of all, I think feminine energy is all perception. I think it's a construct, and I don't necessarily think that to have feminine energy you have to be a man, or you don't have to be a woman. Obviously, you don't have to be a woman or a man to have feminine energy within you. Like, I feel like everyone has a little bit of that feminist side to them, and I don't know. That's my belief. Being soft, being kind, being gentle. Not saying that masculinity you can't be gentle and soft and kind. You can, but I feel like the connotation behind it is you usually think, oh, feminine, being a woman, but I don't think that's the case. I believe that embracing that feminine energy means putting yourself on a pedestal and looking deep within to figure out what makes you you as a human being. What tools can you use within to help you become more soft and gentle and kind, and how them attributes can actually help you as a person in terms of your moral values, in terms of your drive, your motivation in life. And yeah, that's what we're really going to be discussing today. And I really do believe that the four main, I want to say, points to embracing your inner feminine is building self-confidence, owning your presence, being in an environment where you can really feel like I'm being seen, I'm being heard, even though I'm being gentle and soft, not having to be, loud and aggressive, shall I say. I want to say loud and aggressive. But yeah, that's what I think embracing your feminine energy is. And also self-care, feeling empowered through self-care, and just balancing power and grace. But yeah, they're the like main things that I think can help you to really take control of your self-development by really tapping into that side of you. So I feel like the first step to really embracing your feminine energy is really looking at your mindset and your heart. So with your mindset, I feel like a start would be the language you use. By language, I don't mean French, English, any of them, like country languages. By language, I mean what you say to yourself, the phrases, when people use affirmations, it's not silly. Like, I know some people might think like, oh, like saying this to myself is not going to help, but it actually does help. I personally don't say affirmations to myself because I watch the way I speak to myself, if that makes sense. So I feel like as human beings, we have a tendency of really bringing ourselves down. Like, we are our biggest enemies. We do something wrong. Oh, I'm so stupid. Like, we don't have knowledge in a certain area. Oh, I'm so dumb. Well, girl, you're not dumb. You just wasn't taught it, or you never learn it. It doesn't mean you're dumb. You still have time to learn, Or, I don't look, no. I don't look good is okay. But then saying things like, oh, I'm so ugly. What? What? Since when did God's creation become ugly? Like, no. You really got to be aware of the way you speak to yourself. And because if you're not kind to yourself, how can you expect others to be kind to you? Of course, human decency, you would expect people to be kind to you nevertheless, but everything has to really start within. And if you're not seeing it within yourself, even when people have the intentions of doing good to you, or have the intentions of seeing you as, I don't know, an asset or a brighter light, you're not going to see it, which then kind of prompts that, what's that word called? Self-sabotage behavior, or that imposter syndrome. Because you're now thinking like, oh, everyone thinks this of me, this, that, and the other. Like, this person must think I'm so ugly. Oh, this person must think this, but I'm so dumb. No, it's just because these are the feelings and thoughts that you're having within, and you haven't taken control of that yet. And that can really hold you back as a person. Yeah, take it for free. So I think language is definitely a starting point. Start being kinder to yourself, the way you speak to yourself, The same way we say we need to be kind to others, be kind to yourself. Start within, you know what I mean? And that's as simple as when you're about to say something to yourself, or when you say something to yourself, because, something's sudden, like, oh, I'm so dumb. Pause. No, actually, I'm not dumb. I'm learning, and I'm still learning, and I can learn. I'm not dumb. I've got the ability to learn. Yeah, so yeah, I know I've been rambling about language, but language is definitely a big one with your mindset. And then I'd say when looking towards your heart, it's more about being intentional, or about who you are as a person. If you want to be an evil, cold-hearted person, your heart best beat like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it best beat like that. If you want to be kind and soft, in your heart, you must feel like that, and you must try and train yourself to be such. And this kind of leads on to my next tip and advice, which is faith. Like, I'm a Christian girl, and I don't know who's watching right now, but if you're Christian, something I'd really advise is asking God to work on your heart. Because, don't quote me on this, I'm not like a spiritual advisor, or a expert or whatever, but I'm pretty sure in the Bible somewhere there, the heart can deceive us, and it really goes to show in everyday life that, before I continue, let me quickly do a quick Google search, because I know I've seen it before. Give me a second. Heart can deceive us. Biblical passage. Yeah, Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's what I'm saying. I knew I'd seen it. Like, come on, man, it's Christian girly. Like, oh Christ, now I'm joking. But the heart is very deceitful, and it's really important, because sometimes as human beings, we can't control the way we're feeling. Bitterness is actually real. You might think like, oh, I can never be a jealous person, because I used to say that about myself. I was like, I can never be jealous. I can never be bitter. That's disgusting. That's a sickness, or whatever, whatever we say. But that bitterness, when you get into a relationship and your partner pisses you off, yeah, check your heart. That's all I'm going to say. Because in this generation, in our culture, we say, oh, I'm just being petty. That's not petty. That's pure bitterness. Yeah. Because in your heart, you're feeling a type of way because this person's irritated you or annoyed you. It doesn't have to be a partner. It can be your friend. It can be anyone. Do you know what I mean? But them little things in your heart to try and to reach out to Christ and ask him, Lord, please work on my heart. Lord, please help me in my heart. Be intentional about the way I treat people with kindness, with grace, with when I'm being intentional about being kind, to be humble as well, and not just wanting to be kind so I can feel good for myself and I can boast about myself. Even if you're boasting internally, that's still something on your heart, do you know what I mean? And that's not really Christ-like. I know this is about feminine behavior, but I feel like we can interlink things, you know what I mean? It's my channel, I can do what I want. Anyways, but yeah, so working on your heart and with faith, all things is possible. And that leads me to linking faith with confidence, asking Christ to help you build that confidence, to help you be able to enter a room, enter a space, and to speak out and to just be confident about who you are as a person, what you know, your skills, your value, what you add value to. And it's so sad actually that I'm thinking about it, because in this day and age, people aren't seen as valued unless they are a resource, human resource. Do you know how mad that is? Like, people aren't seen as value or added value unless they can physically, tangibly do something, which I personally think is a bit wrong, but hey. Which is why I'm saying it's important to have that inner feeling, inner power, feminine energy. That feminine energy is your value, not what you can do. No. And once you start having that mindset, you're on the road, you're on the ball to doing big things for yourself. I'll tell you that much. But anyways, next I would say is financially. By financially, what do I mean? Use your money smart. To be a boss babe does not mean you have to spend thousands and hundreds of pounds or live a fake lifestyle that you cannot afford, or going out there and looking for men to fund your lifestyle, or being that girl that any guy wants to just spend money, throw money. I mean, if that's what you're about, that's what you're about. That's cool. That's what you like. But that's not the only way of being feminine or having that feminine energy. It doesn't mean a guy's going to come and take you out for dinner or pay for your Chanel bag or whatever. That's not what being feminine means. Okay? In case there's people out there that just think that's the only way, that's the only pathway. Sorry, keeping it real. You can have things for yourself, being financially smart, financially responsible, looking towards the future as well. I know being in our 20s is a thing, like, oh, you're young, enjoy your life, live your life, it doesn't matter. Maybe for those that were born in the 90s, them 2000s era, when they were in their 20s, they could, live their life, have fun, whatever, splash money, splash cash. But the way this economic crisis is at the moment, I would advise, I'm not a financial expert, but I would advise, have a little something there on the side for yourself to just, savings or something, a lifetime ISA or something. Like, just, yeah, don't, enjoy yourself, but remember that there's tomorrow. I think that's the kindest, softest way I could say it, I could put it. Remember that you're going to adults. And yeah, 20, you're an adult. But if you're 20 and you're living with your parents, you're not really going to be thinking. Personally, I think, I think that far. Maybe it's my overthinking, but I know some people, when they live with their parents, when they know that that income is coming in regardless, I'm going to have a roof over my head, I'm going to have food to eat on the table regardless, they don't really think too much about tomorrow and about the future. And with the way things are at the moment, I think it's really important to just have that little something on the side, because you never know your circumstance. But at least when you have that little something, even if that little something is £100, it's a start. Do you know what I mean? I know £100 can't get you much these days, but I'm sure with a little bit of creativity, I don't know. I really wish I could advise you there, but it's a start. You can invest with £100, but yeah. So yeah, that's being a hot girl, being a feminine babe does not just mean having people splash cash on you. You can earn your own cash, you can save your own cash, and you can grow that cash. But that's a video for another day. Anyways, next with for confidence building, I would say is opportunities. Like reaching out to people. Don't be shy to ask. Because quite literally, if you don't ask, you don't get. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. If you don't ask, you don't get. Me, I'm actually a mad person. I've got relatives around the world, and some relatives are in harder circumstances than others. And something I really wanted to do, like, okay, so I want to do like a charity thing, provide helping young girls, adolescents in Southern Africa, like attain opportunities. No, yeah, opportunities. Have the opportunity to do something for themselves and to make something of themselves. And some of the countries in Southern Africa, as we know, aren't really great when it comes to the employment rate and when it comes to the economic procedures, the economic whatever is not really great. So it's tougher for some, but I just thought to myself, let me put my thinking cap. What's one of the biggest ways you can make money these days? Social media, right? What's one of the biggest platforms for business advertisement and literally for everything and anything? Social media. So I just thought to myself, even though this is like a country in South Africa that I'm thinking of, that I'm trying to, a girl that I'm trying to help, I reached out. I typed in tailors in Harare or something on Instagram, or I just typed in like different businesses in Harare, which is in Zimbabwe, and then I found a few, and luckily some of them had their like contact details on the thing. So then I just started like literally messaging every one of them on WhatsApp. I was like, like if you can waffle or use ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be your best friend. One or the other. Like, you guys, come on, man. The opportunities are there. You just need to put yourself in the correct position, in the correct place, man. Even networking, taking yourself to the networking events, actually reaching out to people. The craziest you are, the maddest you might think you look, you do that. You do that madness. And I promise you, them opportunities will be attained. And not only is it a great opportunity for you to, make something of yourself and to network and to socialize or whatever, it's an opportunity to build your confidence. It's an opportunity to just, practice the skills that you've been, yeah. I apologize. I couldn't get it out. I'm so sorry. And then finally, with self-confidence, I'd say is investing in self. Yeah. Yeah. Investing in self care. And what I mean by investing in self care, this will bring me onto point two for unleashing your inner feminine. So I really do believe that the second steps to really unleashing your inner feminine is self care. I really do think that self care is empowerment. Self care, I mean beauty and wellness. So, not just the physical side of things, but your emotional, mental side of things. And I really feel like the first thing would be to understanding your emotions and understanding who you are and why you are the way you are, why you think certain things, why you have certain belief systems, because it's actually them belief systems that can sometimes either help you to go forward in life or can bring you back. And actually knowing and understanding the reasons behind these things can help you overcome them barriers. And I feel like it's very, again, I could be biased because I'm going towards this pathway in with my degree and qualifications, etc. But in invest in therapy. I'm sure people these days therapy has actually really been like promoted a lot, but I promise you it helps. It really, really helps. If not therapy, mentoring, coaching, invest in that. I feel like therapy is that beginning stage, like when you want to take the first steps to really understanding you as a person. And then coaching and mentoring is the steps that you take after, when you want to actually take action and control of who you are as a person and how you want to become and develop. And I say this again, I could be biased because I'm studying counseling, coaching, and mentoring in uni. But I'm so thankful that I actually well, I didn't choose this course. That's a story for another day. But anyways, I'm grateful that I'm doing this course because my knowledge has actually been so widened. Like before I didn't know nothing. I thought I knew things, but I didn't know anything. And I always say that relationships, friendships, bonds would last a lot longer if people just educate a little bit about mental, emotional well-being and psychology, the psychology of the brain. And because as human beings, there's a lot of things that we can do or don't do. That's not our fault, you know? It's the way our brains were reprogrammed or the way our brains were impacted in a not so good way, and or sometimes a good way, depending on how you turned out. And if we had that little bit of empathy and understanding towards that, I'd say that we would be less susceptible to taking things personally. I think that's another thing, a big thing. Like, we take things so personally, and sometimes it's like, just let it go. Just let it go. It's not actually just, but don't drag it. Like, there's a fine line between disrespect and just, a person being who they are. But yeah, I'll definitely say just really investing into your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, and understanding your emotions, understanding just a little bit, or just even if you're not understanding yourself, just trying to make an effort to understand others by reading books around mental health, around psychology and emotional well-being. You learn a lot from that. Emotional and physical health are so interlinked and so together, like, and curing things, not curing, but being able to cope with depression and anxiety is possible for those that might feel like there's no other way out of the way you're feeling. It's possible. With that said, I'd say that knowledge is real power. Like, and I think these are the are more as a self-care thing than anything else. Education, knowledge, and developing and building that. Even if you're taking a little, I don't know, maybe a 5 week course, that's so valuable, you know. And don't let people discourage the way that you educate yourself. You can educate yourself by being self-taught, you know, learning skills like doing hair, doing nails, or even skills like, you know, the tech industry or social media management or designing. All them skills, that's a form of education, and really investing into that, yeah, you'll do great things for yourself. I tell you that much. And another thing I feel like is very like common sometimes is discouragement around going to university and going or doing anything higher education based. Don't let people discourage you. If it's something in your heart that you wanted to do, go for it and do it. Even if there's that whole stigma around, oh, you won't get a job from it, or oh, you don't really need to go to uni for that. Sometimes people just want to go to uni for the education side of things or for the experience. Let it be. So don't feel discouraged. And again, don't feel pressured to, you know, you can get education in various ways. It's not, there's not one straight road to educating yourself. No, there are various ways. Luckily, in this day and age, we have social media, we've got everything out there on the internet. So it's just about finding it and what suits you. Again, for self care, I would say investing in your looks and your health. So your beauty. Sorry, I said looks, but I meant beauty. Investing in your beauty, you know, you look good, you feel good. And that includes, I feel like it includes your physical health, what you're eating, you know, what you're drinking, what you're consuming. It everything that you put in, it shows outwards. So eating healthy, drinking your water, exercising, not just exercising for the body type, no, no, but exercising again for the mental health aspect of things and just genuinely keeping fit. I am so sorry, guys. My camera died, the battery, and my mic at the same time. Like, how ghetto? That's terrible. That's definitely not the steps to, you know, unleashing that inner feminine. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I believe that I got onto the point of self care, and we covered knowledge and education and all that stuff. But something that I really wanted to really project and shine light on is the importance of, you know, maintaining your wellness and your inner beauty as well as your outer beauty. And I'd say my advice and tips onto doing so would definitely be investing in your appearance. And when I say invest in your appearance, I don't just mean like having to spend like £500 on makeup, changing the way you look, you know, doing Botox or fillers, or if that's something that you like, then, you know, go ahead and do that. If that's something you like, you know what I mean? Who am I to tell you otherwise? But that's not what it means to be beautiful. That's not the only way to be beautiful. I feel like with investing in your appearance, it's definitely a thing. I think you should definitely look towards enhancing your natural beauty, your natural appearance, and trying to do things to work on feeling confident in your natural state, shall I say. And I'd say definitely a big start would to be take off the filters. Take off the filters on Snapchat, on Instagram. Take the filters off you. You look beautiful without it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was a big issue for me. Like, I used to, even when I had my makeup done, I couldn't post a video or picture or whatever on Snapchat if I didn't have a filter. And then I realized it actually made me mad. Like, it made me insane. Because when I took the filter off, I think, oh, like, this is ugly, this looks disgusting. But it's only because I was so used to seeing my face on the filter that I felt uncomfortable seeing my natural state. And I think we should start getting used to seeing ourselves in our natural self and trying to invest in, what's the word? Not necessarily changing the way that we look, but embracing the way that we look. For me personally, getting my eyebrows threaded, getting my eyebrows done, or even if you don't have money at that time, Nair hair removal cream, I use that. It works just as good. You know what I mean? But just carve out the brows, shape it out, and watch a little YouTube video, and you're good to go. And that can make such a big difference on your face. If you're a girly with excessive facial hair, either you embrace it if that's what makes you feel beautiful, or if you don't like it, wax strips for free. I have a mustache and a couple chin hairs. If I'm being honest, I do, and I like to wax my face, and just that I feel like makes a difference in how I'm looking. I'd say try something that's a bit neutral, try something that's a bit toned down, that just enhances the natural feel, your natural face, and something that goes with your face shape. I started to clock that I don't like lashes on me. I feel like I don't suit lashes. I don't really like it too much, but it took me a while to actually let go and feel comfortable without wearing lashes, because I was so used to seeing my face with lashes. So that's just a couple examples. Or just going to have a manicure done. You don't necessarily have to have acrylics, but if you want acrylics, you can go for the acrylics. Do you know what I mean? Like, just what you feel comfortable in. But then again, remember, you still look gorgeous, even if you just have your nails manicured, just cleaned up. Even if you don't want to polish, just filed, cleaned, cut. Them little things can make you feel so much better in yourself, and just can really make you feel like, yeah, I'm that girl. I'm ready to just take on whatever. Because you know what they say, when you look good, you feel good. And I'd say as well, like, your diet and your lifestyle choices. So if you're someone that, likes smoking and drinking and stuff, maybe trying to move away from them habits by substituting them for habits that are more healthy. I'd also say really investing in hobbies, because I feel like hobbies are a very great self-care tool. Being in your 20s, I think that's a time where you start to realize like you're really alone in this life. Like, of course you have your support system, but you're really alone in this life. Other than outside of working, and obviously sometimes life is busy these days, you know what I mean? You rarely get to have time to yourself, or sometimes you have too much time by yourself. So I think it's a very good opportunity to start learning and understanding what you enjoy doing as a person. And a great way to start is by investing into hobbies. You're tapping into your creative side, and it's very easy to turn that hobby into a job if you're not careful. And I think it's very important to have things that you separate between your job and a hobby, because once you turn your hobby into a job, it's very quick to lose interest or not want to do them things, because it'll start to feel like a chore. Whereas a hobby is more like fun, chilled. It's your time to breathe. And when I say I'm gonna do a separate video on how hobbies and types of hobbies and stuff. But like a couple examples would definitely be like painting, gem painting, pottery, air dry clay. You can get them these things on Amazon for the cheap. Or active hobbies such as the gym, dance, yoga, Pilates, reading. Oh, I love reading. I love me a good book. Reading is a time and opportunity to not only learn but to just escape. Finding your form of escapism when things get hard or when things get uncomfortable is a very good way to just empower yourself and to tap into that self-care aspect, because when you're starting to focus on bringing out your inner self and your inner feminine, it can sometimes be very exhausting. So having that time to be able to wind down through doing hobbies and just calmness is really important. And I also wanted to say along them lines is spending time in silence. This is more specifically, I'd say, for the Christian girlies, but spending time in silence, in quietness. No, not even quietness, silence, not even music, nothing, just being silent. Like, we actually move fast in this life. We move so fast that sometimes we miss the good things and we miss appreciating and showing gratitude to what we have or what we've experienced. And then we miss the moments and start to think, oh, what's next? And then at the end of it, you're like, oh, so what did I even achieve? When really you achieved so much because things went so fast and you didn't give yourself enough time to appreciate them things. It's kind of past and you don't really get to feel. And coming off of that, I'd say allow yourself to feel every emotion. I know this is like kind of goes off like self-care aspects, but I think it's also really important with being feminine. Allow yourself to feel emotions and don't be so like boxed up and shielded. Like, yeah, you can be tough and strong, but you're a human being, and the more that you bottle up your emotions and feelings, the more you have the likelihood to just burst, which isn't really great when it comes to being able to balance grace and power, which is something I'll get onto a bit later. But yeah, I think those would be my main tips for self-care. So overall, in general, I'd say, understanding your emotions, investing in your inner beauty, outer beauty and wellness, educating yourself, and getting a hobby. But yeah, that's my self-care tips towards being able to tap into your inner feminine energy. Anyways, moving on to owning your presence. Owning your presence, I think this is my favorite point when it comes to tapping into your inner feminine energy. I feel like with owning your presence, this means being your authentic, raw self and being confident about it. So back to the being confident, back to being, getting it in as a mindset thing, as a mindset and heart-changing tool. Be authentic. The sooner you realize that people will talk about you regardless of what you do, whether you're doing what everyone else is doing or you're doing your own thing, people will talk, and there's this saying that what is it? Is it bad news is better than no news? Something like that. I don't know the saying, but there's a saying that's along the lines. I'll just add it or something if I remember. But the sooner that you realize, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. Just focus on doing your thing, especially if you know your outcomes. If you know the outcomes that you desire, if you know your goals, you know the end game. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And as gruesome and as dark, as deep this might be, we're all gonna leave the earth at one point. You know what I mean? So don't end up regretting not doing what you wanted to do because of the fear of being judged or being stigmatized or stereotyped or whatever. And don't allow them stereotypes and stigmatization hold you back from achieving your goals or wanting to, having the desire to go out and do it, you know. For example, I want to say as a black girl, there's some things that, as a stereotype, they wouldn't expect black girls to go out and do, or it's not really a common thing within a black community. I don't know what I can say as an example right now, but then some black girls, they might feel like that's something that they would want to do, but because they're worried that they're trapped in a box, being like stuck in that one box, that should only be doing one thing, they shouldn't be doing other things, or do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm being clear. I feel like I'm being very unclear, which I apologize about. But if you understand, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Oh well. Don't let that hold you back, is all I'm saying. Do what you feel is right and follow your instincts, your gut instincts. Because you need to trust yourself. You know, I feel like owning your presence is trusting yourself, being yourself, your natural self, and trusting that. Your choices, your decisions, and being confident in your decisions. I am someone who's very indecisive and I'm working on it. But I feel like that's a confidence thing as well. But that's one thing. Another thing I'd say is command respect, yeah, with everything. If your name is pronounced a certain way and someone gets it wrong, correct them. Don't be shy to correct them. Correct them. No, my name is this, this, this. And knowing the meaning of your name. I know that in like certain Nigerian cultures, children are named and them names hold serious weight, serious meaning behind them. And it's like your name is kind of like an affirmation. And I think that's really beautiful. That's a really beautiful thing within the culture. And which is why it's important to actually demand that respect in pronunciations of name. Or if you want to be addressed a certain way, don't be shy to really make it known who you are. And on that note, don't be shy with confrontation. I think confrontation's never been a real problem for me. I've always been confrontational person. And I'd say like, yeah, go for it with that confrontation. Don't be shy. If someone's disrespected you, speak up. Don't hold back. Don't be afraid of making a scene. And don't be afraid of making that person feel uncomfortable. If they've made you feel uncomfortable, I'm not saying get to their level of disrespect, but correct them and teach them that this wasn't right. And don't let them get away with it, because that's enabling their behaviour, and they're going to go out and do it again, not just to you. So you actually confronting them could actually help someone else, and that is truly kind, and that is very feminine of you. I'd say as well, lastly, well, this video has been quite a lengthy one, and some of the subtopics in this, I might like do separate videos for them, because I feel like I've kind of rambled on a lot, but it's okay. So my last point would be balancing power and grace. Definitely one of the 4 like points to really tapping into your inner feminine and really like getting it out there. I feel like being feminine can be really hard. No, it's easy, but it can be perceived the wrong way. And I feel like women with power and women who like to show and assert their power can be very misunderstood. And then sometimes women, this goes back to that whole feeling uncomfortable and not being afraid to put people in their place when they are in the wrong, but do it in a way where you're doing it with grace. So your attitude, your behavior, you don't need to cuss someone out to correct them. You don't need to be screaming and shouting for someone to hear you. I actually think that when you're shouting at someone, they're not going to hear nothing.
And that took me a while to learn as well. But really knowing how to balance that assertiveness with being graceful, being, I'd say, having a quiet spirit as well. Like, you can be a confident, outgoing, loud person, but you're inside, you're quiet. Like, you're not, sorry, pardon me. You're not quick to judge someone or to make someone feel uncomfortable, to disrespect someone, to laugh at someone, or to just bring someone down. Bringing people down isn't power. That isn't powerful at all. And I think it's really important to just be aware that when you are being powerful, be kind. Be, be a pillar of support. Women with power, I'd say, are women with knowledge and very smart on how they apply themselves, and try and be helpful with other people. I mean, to other people. Is it helpful to other people? Guys, it's late. Sorry, my English, it's not my first language. But yeah, like, just try and find that balance of being sweet and subtle with your power, with your grace, with your elegance. And yeah, the saying, kill them with kindness. But yeah, I think that is the end of the video, guys. I think I've shared enough. I've done a lot of rambling and waffling and going on, but I hope my point was set out clear. I'm going to look back at this video and think, okay, I'm cutting this out, I'm cutting that out. It's so long, but it's literally almost midnight now. But I was so dedicated, I was like, I need to get this video out. Hopefully in my next episode of this self-development series, I can really concise things and get my point out and across. And I need to be confident. Oh, this is my first time. Like, I need to give myself a break. This whole perfectionism thing is tough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like to see on the self-development series. And I will see you guys later. Have a blessed day. Bye.